Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting a new weekly reading vlog. I have a few books on my radar at the moment. I will just talk through what I'm currently reading. So I'm currently reading One by One by Freida McFadden. It is about a group of 6 friends who go on this trip. They're heading to a lodge or a cabin that's sort of in a more remote location, and their car ends up breaking down while they're in the middle of the woods on the way to this place, and shit happens. It's very good so far. I'm currently on page 92, and we're getting 2 perspectives. We're getting Claire's perspective, who's the main character, and then an anonymous perspective who we don't know who it is yet, and that really excites me. I really like that anonymous perspective. I have all of the books on my July TBR that I do need to get through. However, I also just got Reckless. It was Reckless, the release day on Tuesday, which is by Lauren Roberts, the second book in the Powerless series. So I do have that to potentially read this week. And I also did just buy a bunch of other books. But for now, we're going to focus on finishing One by One, and then I'm just going to mood read. I'm going to pick out whatever the hell I want. I'm just mood reading this week. Okay, I'm on chapter 34, page 208 of One by One. Tell me why I'm terrified. I am actually terrified. I've never felt like this when reading a book before. Like, my heart is pounding. I'm so scared. I don't know who to trust. I don't know who to believe. I can't believe this. Normally with Freida McFadden's books, I think it's quite, like, not obvious, but it's semi-predictable, like who is the bad person or what's gonna happen. But this one, like, genuinely I have no idea who it is. Like, I don't know who it is. I don't know what's happening, and I am so scared. I think the, like, remote location as well is what's really scaring me too, and the anonymous perspective again. It's so good. I can't believe, like, I didn't expect to love this one as much, just because, like, it's 250 pages. Like, I just thought, like, what can you possibly do in 250 pages that's going to be, like, groundbreaking? But I am loving this book. I can't believe it. I'm going to quickly read these last 50 pages and just see where we end up. I just finished reading One by One. I read that book in 2 hours and 26 minutes. That is the fastest that I've ever read a book in my life. That was incredible. Again, I did not expect the ending. I can't believe what happened. I don't know why. It just didn't, that wasn't even a possibility in my mind, the way it ended. It was not a possibility at all. I really enjoyed this book. Honestly, I think I'm going to give it 5 stars. It's one of my favourite Freida McFaddens I've read. Would highly recommend this one. I will say, like, some things felt a tiny bit rushed, but again, it is only 250 pages, so they kind of have to rush it. Otherwise, this book wouldn't have a conclusion, but I didn't mind it at all. It just made the story more fast-paced, and yeah, I was constantly, like, I'd finish a chapter and I'd be like, oh my god, but I have to read the next one now because I need to know what happens. And that is what makes a great book, in my opinion. So yeah, I've finished this one. Very happy about that. I don't know what I'm going to read next. I don't think I'm going to pick anything else up tonight, but I'll let you know tomorrow what I end up picking up. Okay, it's the next day. I decided yesterday to start reading Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. This is on my July TBR, so I kind of just wanted to get it off my TBR, but also I was in the mood for a romance, and I just decided to pick it up. If you don't know me, I have had really bad experiences reading Lauren Asher before. I don't know why. I know that everyone loves her. I read The Fine Print. No, first I read Throttled, the F1 romance. And I don't know, the romance just wasn't it for me. And then I read The Fine Print and I hated the writing. Like, I really don't like to slander authors, but I just did not vibe with it at all. I hated it. And I bought this one ages ago, I think when it first came out, because I was like, it might be different, and I've heard like everyone who reads this loves it. I have decided to adopt Destiny Sidwell's 3 strikes and you're out rule, so I'm gonna give authors 3 chances, and if I don't like any of the 3 books that I read, or if they're just like meh, then that author's not for me. So this is my 3rd Lauren Asher book that I'm reading, and I'm giving her a final chance. I am currently 168 pages into this. I'm on chapter 17. It is about 518 pages, I think. So I'm about 30% in. And I'm enjoying this one more than I enjoyed the other 2 that I've read. In the like first chapter, I was like, oh my god, the writing's going to be the same. Like, I'm not going to enjoy it. But I will say that now that I'm a bit further in, I am actually enjoying it quite a lot more. I wrote some notes on my phone. So there are trigger warnings for like depression and infertility. It's like a childhood rivals to like sort of lovers to enemies to sort of lovers again. Like it does a bit of a, it does a few U-turns throughout the book. One thing that I will say, this is sort of a spoiler, so I'll put a link to skip to if you don't want this spoiler, or I mean the time. The girl is infertile, hence the spoiler alert for infertility, and she's like, her partner broke up with her because he wanted kids and she is infertile, so he broke up with her. The guy, the male love interest in this book, just so happens very conveniently that he doesn't want his partner to have kids the natural way, that he wants to adopt. It just so happens, like of course that's what he would want. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just very convenient, and that, like, I've never met a man who thinks like that. It just seems unrealistic to me. Anyway, it's a billionaire romance. There's forced proximity. They're like working together. Yeah, there's a lot of tropes in this. That's the only thing that I don't like, is that it's a bit too convenient, the way, just the infertility thing, it's just a bit convenient. But other than that, I'm enjoying it. The writing is not grating on me as much as it did in The Fine Print. And I'm actually reading it pretty fast as well, like I'm getting along pretty well with it. One thing that I also will say is that they speak Spanish sometimes, and I don't speak Spanish. They do put like, I'll try and find an example. They do put like the, I don't know if you can see. They do put like the Spanish or the English translation at the bottom of the pages if they do use Spanish words. But I don't want to have to try and attempt to read something in Spanish and then at the bottom of the page read it again in English. It's just a bit difficult for me. It's just a bit difficult. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, those are my current thoughts. I'm going to carry on reading tonight and just see how far I get. But yeah, I'm not hating this one as much as I thought I would. Okay, it is currently Sunday, so I didn't read anything yesterday. I actually went to watch Hamilton yesterday in Birmingham, and it was the best day ever. If you know me, actually no one's gonna know this because I don't talk about it on here, but my friends know, I am the biggest Hamilton fan in the world. I literally watch it at least once a week. I watch it all the time. I know all the words. I listen to the soundtrack all the time in the car. Like, I just love Hamilton, and I went to see it yesterday because it came to our city. And and it was the best day ever, but I was so tired after, so I literally didn't read anything. However, this morning I have been reading more of Love Redesign. I'm on page 319 now, so I only have 200 pages left, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I'm really enjoying this book. This is the first Lauren Asher book I've actually enjoyed reading. Like, I don't know why this book is different. The writing just feels different to me. I will say that they did mention the characters from the Dreamland Billionaire series, and that kind of annoyed me because I have such bad memories of the first book. But this one it's just doing it for me. We did also just have a one bed trope, which I loved, and I feel like it's gonna be like Guy falls first, which I also love. So yeah, this is a lot better than the fine print and Throttle to me. I don't know what it is, it's just different. I think I might still unhaul the fine print series or the Dreamland Billionaire series because I just can't see myself picking up the next two, even though I'm enjoying this one, but I just can't see myself enjoying that series, even if I did read the Terms and Conditions and the Final Offer. But I think, or so far, obviously there's 200 pages left and this could change, but so far I'm going to keep this one, and I might even buy the second one, but unhaul Dreamland Billionaires. So yeah, I think the next time I update you I will have finished this book, and I'll let you know if this has changed my mind about future Lauren Asher books. Okay, I'm here to give thoughts on Love Redesigned. I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I am just as shocked as anyone who's ever seen me read a Lauren Asher book before or heard me talk about them. I genuinely can't believe this, but I really enjoyed this. It wasn't a 5-star to me. I don't know why. There was just something missing, but I really enjoyed this. Julian was so... When I get a partner, I want them to be Julian, and this is really materialistic of me, but he's literally a billionaire and he buys Dahlia anything she wants, and if I don't have that, then I'll be really upset. I really enjoyed this. I don't know, like I genuinely don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. I'm gonna read the next book in this series. There was just so many tropes in this that I love. The one bed trope, the forced proximity trope, the childhood enemies to lovers sort of, I guess. I really enjoyed this book. I really did. I don't have anything else to say, and I don't want to keep repeating myself. 4 stars. I don't know what to read next. I am feeling a fantasy, and I'm currently in the middle of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Heir of Fire, and I just started A Curse of Blood and Wolves by Melissa McTernan. This is the Fairy Loot edition, I'm pretty sure. And I just read the first chapter of this because it was sitting on my TBR cart and it was kind of calling my name. And I read the first chapter and I'm very intrigued. This is basically about a girl called Ruby. It's like a Little Red Riding Hood retelling. It's about a girl called Ruby who traipses through the woods every day, and this guy, Rafe, watches her and she like gets a thrill out of it. It sounds really good, and the first chapter was very intriguing. It's also on Kindle, so of course I downloaded it on Kindle. I am about like, I think I'm like 60% into Heir of Fire, maybe like 50% into Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I do want to finish both of those books, but this is mood reading and I'm in the mood for this book, so I think I'm going to carry on with this one. I am on page 79, which is chapter 12 of A Curse of Blood and Wolves. I looked on Goodreads because I hadn't heard anyone talk about this at all. I think I saw in Tori's vlog that she read it, but I can't remember what she thought of it. So I went on Goodreads to have a look at some of the reviews to see what people were saying, And the reviews for this book are so bad. I saw so many 1-star and 2-star reviews. People saying that nothing happened, it was very insta-lovey, and just not liking it. And I will say I can see where the insta-love comments come from. I'm only on page 79 and there's already like romance. However, I feel like that's kind of, it's the point of the story. I will say I'm not hating it at all by any means. I'm actually like kind of enjoying it. It's like funny to read about werewolves. It's funny. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Like, it's not like really well written, and it's not a masterpiece by any means, but I'm having a good time reading it, and I feel like that's all that matters. I think I explained the premise of the book, but essentially what's happened so far is Rafe has been watching, is her name Ruby? I think it's Ruby, when she walks through the woods, because the woods lead to the back of her house, and Rafe has been watching her because he feels like she's in danger and she needs protecting. Anyway, Ruby spots him, he ends up saving her, like one of the first times they meet, and then they sort of form this alliance because Rafe tells Ruby that she needs protecting, so Ruby lets him protect her. But yeah, there's also like this mystery element going on with Ruby's sister Lena. I won't go too much into that, but there is sort of another element to the book. It's not just the romance. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Like, it's not terrible. Why can't we just take control? We're overcomplicating how love flows. High low shouldn't be the stop. Okay, I think my last update of this book was like, it's not that bad. I don't know why the reviews are so bad. I've now finished this book and I understand why the reviews were bad. Hold on, my battery's about to die. Give me a second. Okay, so this book started off really good. Like, the first 50% I was really into. But throughout the book, there was just... it just felt like a rip-off of Twilight for me. If it was Bella and Jacob rather than Bella and Edward. I don't know. Something about this just... it just was not the one. Also, I didn't realise this is the first book in a trilogy, so the like main plot line was not resolved in this book because it's obviously meant to continue into the next one. Was not aware when I started reading this, which is really annoying because that was like the thing that was keeping me interested, was the plot line with Ruby's sister. It was just a bit cringe. There were so many typos and grammar errors in this book that just like annoyed me, because how has this been published when there's so many errors in it? It just, I will never understand when that happens. Yeah, I don't know. If you're like happy to read like a cringe like werewolf romance, then would recommend, but I don't know that I'd recommend this. Like, I wouldn't recommend this just generally. But yeah, it's a really stunning book, which is why I wanted to read it, but it just wasn't for me. Anyway, I am finishing this vlog off here. These are the 2 books I read this week. Love Redesigned was a 5-star. Was it 5-star? 4-star, which is great. And then this one is like a 2.5, I think, which is fine. We had 1 good book and 1 bad book. But yes, other than that, I will leave this here and I'll see you in the next one.